I lost my mom about 7 months ago. She died on the morning of my birthday. I woke up and she was gone. It wasn't really even time to wake up. It was 7:30 in the morning, and I don't usually get up until 10 or 11. But with her being sick and everything the way she was, you're obviously checking on their well-being constantly. And I'd been taking care of her for about a month. She was going through the end stage of COPD, stage 4. And I knew at some point she was going to be gone. And it's funny because as sick as she was, I somehow felt like maybe there was more time, maybe even months. But part of me knew that there was maybe only weeks or days. It was so obvious. And my sister had been there, and she just left a couple days before. And my aunt came down, and she had asked me a couple weeks before she came how I feel about, is it important that she comes soon? And I knew kind of that it may not be long. And my mom kind of didn't want to put anyone out either. But I'm glad I made a big deal out of it because my aunt was also here. Her timing was well, and it was about a week after she left that my mom passed away. Maybe a few days, maybe 4 or 5 days even after she had left. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. Just watching her suffer and not being able to breathe. I have breathing problems of my own. My whole family has had asthma our entire life. And my lungs are definitely pretty much the exact way my mom's were. And I'm about 20-something years younger than my mom. Than my mom was at the time she passed away. It's been so beyond difficult. It's amazing because you love someone, and it sounds kind of weird to say, but you really don't understand the depths of how important things are and how important people are in just situations in your life, and just what they really mean and what they stand for and what they are for you until they're gone. Me and my mom were always close, but when I was younger, I didn't spend enough time with her. I know I didn't, of course. It was pretty rough as far as my older, I don't know, I guess 18 through 20-something, I was definitely pretty much never around. And that's something I could never take back. And I've gotten through it pretty well, and I've accepted it and forgiven myself, I guess, sort of. But, over the years, I did make up for it after that. My mom actually moved down to be closer to me, which was very sweet. I know she loved me so very much. And we spent time together, but not nearly enough even then. And then after a little while, we ended up spending more time together. And I wish it was even more than it was, but it was maybe 2 or 3 days a week here and there. And then she moved up right close to me. And we started seeing each other, 2 or 3, maybe 4 days a week, but rarely 4. And she was only 20 minutes away from me. And then she just started getting so bad, and her health started getting bad. And I think more than anything, she was really, really lonely. And I knew she was lonely, and I would give anything to give my mom every second of my life. She just needed me so much. She needed love, and she needed attention. And she used to tell me that every day all she was doing was sitting there writing down her medications as she would take them throughout the day, and little things that would go on that she would record in a notebook whenever necessary. And she would just stare at the walls in between and do her nebulizer, drink a cup of tea, and wait for her next round of meds or nebulizer. And that was her whole life, and that's what she told me. And she was just so not happy anymore. And she, at some point, decided she just couldn't do it and didn't want to do it anymore. She just was tired of being here. And it was kind of odd because although she wasn't doing very well, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it seemed like within a week, she got really, really bad. And then she went completely downhill from there. And I'll never really know exactly what happened, but she gave up, and somehow she just got incredibly sick very quickly. And within a few weeks, she was gone. Maybe it was a month and a half, I don't know, but it was all so fast. Part of the reason I'm doing this is because I'm here, and I'm going to be here, and I'm not going anywhere. The first few months was bad after she passed away, and then after that it got worse. It was almost like it set in, and I had time to realize just how beyond completely depressed and horrified I was. And I've had depression off and on throughout my life, but never the way it's gotten at that point. And I literally, for days, in between days and weeks in between weeks, had felt more like I didn't want to be here than I ever had in my life. And it just like seemed like nothing matters. And it got a little better. I'm still going through it a lot, obviously. My depression, being as severe, has gotten a little better as well. I have chemical as well as just life. I just don't have a lot that keeps me going or really makes me happy. I have an amazing child and a couple friends that are great, but I really don't see them much, and their lives are completely different than mine, and we're just not together nearly as much as I'd like. And I just, forget about everything in my life. I don't have pretty much any reasons. Sometimes it feels like to even care. And I know it sounds bad because life is amazing and beautiful and incredible, and the sun is shining every day, and it's a beautiful blue sky, and there's people that are so much worse off than I am, and it feels horrible and awful, and how dare I to feel these things I feel sometimes, and it's just so weak and pathetic, and it's horrible. But I'm finding myself even still going through these emotions and having these thoughts about my mom and what it was like the night she passed and when she passed and what was going on in between, and just everything about her life and her dying situation and just being there with her and everything, all these things that come up in my mind. And I'm finding myself in these moments where things hit me, and I just really feel like I get so upset in these moments that I could just let it all go, because it just seems like it doesn't matter. Like I can't even cope. I can't deal with it. I can't accept it. And I'm so angry that I could just that's it. In that second, that's it. It's just, that's it, period. Who cares? And although I want to be here and I'm going to stay here for a long time, it scares me because I just don't know. My head is so completely unhappy about everything, and I'm so lost. And I just haven't been happy for so long with anything in my life. And I've tried to reach out, and I've tried to let people know what I need and what I want and what I miss and these things I want so desperately. And then with my mom and everything else and having a chemical imbalance. And then my mom, again, being the main factor. You know, I'm going to be here no matter what, but it's so hard. I miss you so much, Mom. I can never, ever, words can never say how much I miss you. My heart bleeds every day. And I wish so much I could just see you. I just wish I could see you one last time. I'd give anything for that. Just one last time, Mom. I love you. I love you so much.